happens when we do some shifting. Okay, so the first shift that we're going to look at here is adding or subtracting outside the function. Is that vertical or horizontal shift? Vertical. Okay, so this is a vertical shift, right? So when we look at what happens when we vertically shift, okay, we're first going to start by writing our new horizontal asymptote. Okay, so if we know our vertical shift is up 4, instead of our horizontal asymptote being at 0, it's going to be at 4. So we take into consideration that. And then we're going to do the exact thing that we just did. We're going to sketch or plot our 2 points. The first point is going to be the y-intercept if there's no horizontal shifting. Was there any horizontal shifting happening? Anything being done inside the function to the variable? No. So we're going to use our y-intercept. So when x is 0, what's our output going to be? 4 to the 0 is 1 plus 4 is 5. So here's our first point. Okay, and then we find our second point, and we're going to decide we move 1 to the right or 1 to the left. Are we looking at growth-like or decay-like? It's going to be a value greater than 1, so we're looking at that growth-like function. So we're going to go 1 to the right. And so if we test in a 1 here, 4 to the first is 4 plus another 4 is 8. So here's our second point is 1, 8. And once you plot those 2 points, the system will give you the rest of that graph. All right, let's see what happens when we're dealing with the shifting that happens inside the function. Okay, so here in this second example, the shifting is happening inside the function. And so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to put your horizontal asymptote. Since there's no vertical shift here, we're just going to put our horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Okay, we don't have to worry about it. And then the second thing that you're going to do is plot your 2 points. Okay, the first one, because now we're dealing with the horizontal shift. So the first point that you're going to select is the shift. So what shift is occurring in here?
Whatever x is. So you have the 6 to the right.
Right, so 6 to the left, so it's a -6, right? So that's our horizontal shift, so we're coming all the way here to -6, and we want to test that point. When we plug a -6 in here, we get 0. 6 to the 0 is 1. So -6, 1 is going to give us, or is going to be the coordinates of our first point. And then the second point that you select is going to be 1 to the right or 1 to the left, depending on whether your base is the positive number or negative. Or I'm sorry, above 1 or below 1. So the base 6 is above 1, so we're moving to the right or left. Go right. So 1 to the right of -6 is? So we're going to plug in our test, -5. And so here we get -5 plus 6 is 1. 6 to the first is 6. So there's our output. We're going to plot -5, 6, and that's going to be our function.